The NHL still has a rat problem, and because of that, the Dallas Stars can now kiss their playoff hopes goodbye. On Friday, Dmitry Kulikov of the Florida Panthers delivered a vicious hit to the knee of Tyler Seguin. As a result, Seguin will miss the next 4 to 6 weeks. Yes, Kulikov has been suspended, but what good does that do to the Stars or their fans? Better yet, what does it do to the quality of the product that the NHL is trying to sell? Let's be clear. Nobody goes to Rogers Arena and spends hundreds of dollars to watch the likes of Matt Cook. They spend their money to watch the likes of Sidney Crosby and Patrick Kane and Tyler Seguin. But thanks to Kulikov, those fans will no longer be able to get their money's worth. So far this season, the NHL has suspended over 20 players, and yet nothing changes. Here's why. Last month, Dan Carcillo of the Blackhawks delivered a nasty cross-check to Matthew Perreault of the Jets. Perreault needed to be helped off the ice. Carcillo is a repeat offender who has been suspended 9 times and whose nickname is Car Bomb. Nevertheless, for his crime, Carcillo received a mere 6 games. A few days later, Chris Letang of the Penguins suffered a concussion after he was hit from behind by Zach Ronaldo of the Flyers. After the game, Ronaldo made it clear he was only doing his job. Quote, "I changed the whole game, man. Who knows what the game would have been like if I didn't do what I did?" Ronaldo was right, because he was only suspended 8 games and he still has a job. And that gets us to the source of the problem. The NHL Department of Player Safety, which, like jumbo shrimp, is a contradiction in terms. Think back 3 years ago. Duncan Keith of the Hawks threw an elbow to the head of Daniel Sedin. That clear attempt to injure cost the Canucks any opportunity to return to the Stanley Cup final. And yet, for his crime, Keith was suspended a mere 5 games. Yet, despite the epidemic of concussions and other serious injuries, the NHL owners still want the players to police themselves. That's not the case in the NFL, where there are no rats allowed. The number one priority of the competition committee is to come down hard on any defensive player who attempts to injure a quarterback. They call it the Tom Brady rule. And the reason for that is simple: money. The NFL is the highest rated TV show in America, and because of all of that star power, the networks now pay the league $5 billion a year. Now, you might think sooner or later the NHL would figure out that the rats are bad for business. You might think it, but sadly, you'd be wrong.